Okay, after volunteering to fill in our speaker last week, Maestro Rev Brien Egan is back this week to facilitate our healing, meditation, and lecture. I'll share a little about him now as we welcome him to the podium. Maestro Rev Brien Egan, CHT, CRM, CKRM, is an author, certified hypnotherapist, a Reiki master, karuna Reiki master, Maestro shaman from the Shipibo lineage from Peru, pranic energy worker, crystal bowl sound healer, EFT practitioner, quantum touch practitioner, sedona method practitioner, chakra cleansing teacher, gong teacher, an ordained minister from the Essene New Life Chapel. He has his BS in psychology with a minor in special education and is the director of the Sound Healing Conservatory. He has been practicing and teaching spirituality for over 21 years. He has done a lot of work with children, families, and individuals by leading workshops, classes, and through individual or group sessions. He also designed and ran a kids' spiritual summer camp for 13 years, which taught children many quantum physics and spiritual concepts, meditation, and mindful practices. Please join me in welcoming Brien Egan to the podium for our healing meditation and lecture today. That's impressive. Okay, Brien, so.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me here. Today, the topic that I selected is entitled Spitefully Grateful.
Oh,
Spitefully
okay.
Grateful.
That's
So,
interesting.
So I've had some interesting experiences, right? And I have to share. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do the meditation first, and then I'll tell you the stories about what's happened this past week. This past week has been the most interesting week I think I've ever had in my entire life. And you know, I don't know if anybody else was asleep with the alien things happening, but stuff definitely happened. And as I walked out the door from here, this is the only part of it, so I'll tell you the rest after. As I walked out the door from here, my bracelet, when I had a quartz bracelet, like quartz chips, it like caught on the door thing and it broke. And I was like, oh man. I was like, I wonder what's happening. I was like, what's next? You know? And so I get in the car, I look at my phone, and the disclosure thing in Congress was starting, and it was like happening. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I just started listening, and I'm like getting chills. And you told me other people were coming to talk to me in your message for me last week. I was like feeling it, you know, like, wow, all right. And so the week's just continuously gone on like that since then. So I'll share some more on the story, but we'll just get comfortable. Just get comfortable in your seat where you are to receive what comes. So everybody take a deep, full breath in. Allowing ourselves to be open to spirit, to divinity, to what is in us, around us, as us, through us. Breathe out slow. Take another deep, full breath in, deep into your belly, deep into your lungs. Being grateful for every breath that we are allowed to have in this space. Being grateful for every piece of this journey. Finding gratitude in every difficult encounter in our life. Everyone. Finding that gratitude that exists, that doesn't go away, that is always there. That flowing current of electric gratitude that fills our souls and our spaces. Breathe into that space right now. And breathe in deeper. Breathe in a little bit more. And I'm going to hold it. And then sigh it out. Let go of last week, let go of last month, let go of last year. Notice any pains or tightness or tension in your body, and breathe in deeper again. Breathe in a little bit more. Holding your breath. Tense up your whole body. Make it really tense and tight for a second. Noticing your skin, noticing your body, noticing every part about you, and then just sigh it out again. Ready? Give yourself permission to receive, permission to unwind, permission to be as you are, as authentic and clear as you were meant to be. Now take another deep, full breath in. Breathe in some more. A little bit more. Hold it. And now we're going to make a sound together. We're going to make a Z sound. I want you to allow your hearts to resonate together in this Z as we hold this higher frequency, to allow it to show up in our lives and our experiences. Ready? Allowing now in this quiet place within yourself, that moment to greet your highest self. Holding that reverence for every part of you, in every dimension, in every space. Allowing your appreciation to be in this moment. Breathing in that light. Feeling it fill you. Holding gratitude for that light, for being. Holding gratitude for that light, for creating with the sound of now. Allowing yourself to hold this peace in yourself brighter and brighter with every breath and every step. Allowing this deeper, higher resonance to align your path with harmony as you embody the symphony of your soul. Slowly reconnecting now to your fingers and toes. Putting yourself back in your hands and feet. Allowing your arms and legs to be present as you find your torso. You come back behind your eyes. You become the still small voice that you are. That place that is eternal. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Being here and now. Allowing what is to be. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for being. As I started saying earlier, this week has been just harmonically aligned. And so the topic, spitefully grateful, is an important thing to notice as we go into this next week, especially with the holidays and how we hold those pictures for our families. You know, we hold the best picture for our family and we really try to show up like that all the time. But even when we do our best, there's still parts of us that hold those old things, those things that we don't let go of, the things that we can't forget. But we don't have to forget them. We have to make peace with them. And that's what this is about. You can't have spite and gratitude. That's why this is a fun juxtaposition. Because when you are truly grateful, there is no space for spite to exist. For spite is one of the many demons that we face in our life.
Yeah.
And it's even though the good things happened, we know that there were bad things before that. So we can't let go of those bad things. That's the most important thing we have to stand on. We are those bad things. But we're not those bad things. But we keep telling ourselves we're those bad things. That those things were what defined us, were what made us who we are. And we are beyond that. We've accepted that we are grateful for what is. We've accepted that we are whole beyond all pieces of our puzzle. Every piece. The worst piece you can imagine. We are beyond that. They are just illusions, as everything is in our experience. Do we choose to see it as fun? Or do we choose to see it as a lesson? The bad things are never fun. But if we can't find the lesson, then we live in that spite. And that spite will eat us alive, as it always does. If we can't step beyond that into our experience, into our true heart-centered space, then we can't be in our fullness. We can only be as much as that old version of us will let us be, in our own old version of ourselves that holds that spite. That spite sits in our past. It sits as who we were, and that who we were is even more spiteful that we've changed. And it doesn't want us to grow. It wants us to be that old version again. Just like when people make changes in their life and the other people around them don't let them change because they only see them as what they were. They can't move past that. So they hold that pit of spite for whomever and whatever is. And that's what destroys us. And so, as this week has gone on, like I said, it's been synchronicity after synchronicity after serendipity after all the things aligning in the most amazing ways, and in the most confusing ways until it all kind of coalesced. And here we are. And so, putting together all the pieces of ourselves, close your eyes for a second. Think of a time in your experience where you did that. Where even though you had the best thing in the world show up for you, you held that picture of spite. That picture of what it was, and you couldn't let yourself be in the joy that is. But take a deep breath into that space for a second. And I want you to picture whatever that shell was, whatever that picture was in your mind. And I want you to tell yourself right now, your highest self, your lowest self, your every part in between, that I forgive you. I forgive you for holding that image because I love you. I forgive you because I am you. I forgive you because I am every part of you. Because we are a part of every one of us. Our resonance extends infinitely across the universe, across ourselves. Breathe into that space. Hold gratitude for accepting the lessons in your life to move past them into the joy that you are. Allow joy. Allow peace. Breathe it out slow. Let yourself be. Let your experience of this universe be in the amazing awe that you are. Allowing yourself to accept these things is sometimes our hardest lesson. When we sit in the pain of our past, when we sit in the fear of our future, we rob ourselves of the great things that are right in front of us. We miss the time that we could have been because of how we thought we should have been. Mm-hmm. And we are not those things. We are beyond those things. In every second of every moment, we are that eternal self. But we forget. We always forget. We choose to forget. So we can learn it again. Because it's fun. Because joy can be fun. It can also be painful. And it can also hold us against ourselves, against our lives, against our families, against our whole picture. So I invite you this week to think about all the family. Because that's the hardest stuff. Because they're right there. They come there with the best lessons. And they're like, we're going to show you how you should be, right? And that's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. Like, are you really sure you're like that? Are you sure you're like that? Oh, I'm going to tell you you're not. I'm going to tell you you're not right until we get to the end. And then maybe I'll see it. Or maybe I won't. But that's not for everyone else to decide. It's for you to decide inside yourself who you are and how you show up. So just allow that. Allow peace where there wasn't. Allow abundance where there was lack. Allow truth where lies were held. Allow transformation where the blockages have been stuck. We dam our own rivers. We dam our own selves by accepting those truths that people tell us we are. But we know in our highest self that we are beyond that we are our whole self, every moment. And the more that we can embody that and allow that into our now, the more that it shows up in every person around us, every single moment, every single second. And again, these are the hardest lessons because it takes us right to ourselves, right to that mirror, and we're only looking back at ourselves. With every person we see, with every time we see it, with every time it shows up, it's like, oh, did you forget? I didn't think you forgot. You sure you forgot? Are you sure? But you didn't really forget. Did you heal it though? Did you heal it and then forget it? But did you forgive it? So that's the part. You got to forgive it. But not everybody else. You got to forgive you for holding it. Because when we hold it, we keep it. Right? And sometimes we keep it for other people. And we don't need to do that either. We need to let that part go too. So just think about those ways that they show up for you. And the ways that you can move beyond it. The ways that you can accept the fullness of who you are in every second. Beyond whatever stories you've been told. Beyond whatever universes you've let yourself suffer through. Suffering is a choice. So is peace. So is joy. So is love. So is abundance. So is acceptance. So is transformation. But it's up to you. And it's up to me. And it's up to everybody. We are that we are. We show up as whole as we allow ourselves to be. So which version of ourselves are we going to pick? Right? Are we going to pick the joyful ride? Are we going to pick the scary ride? Are we going to pick the roller coaster? Are we going to pick the easy one? It's up to us. So I'm going to share. The shelves in there told me that I should pick this book, and even more appropriately, it's the 50th anniversary edition of The Search for God, which is a book directly from Edgar Cayce and his group that he put together to go beyond and to fully reach within and figure out what is. And that's what we're doing. Every moment, every Sunday, we come into this beautiful place. We figure out who we are, how we're going to show up. And which one are we going to choose? Do we choose it before we get up? Do we choose it right when we wake up? Right? Or do we choose it when we're sad? Do we choose it when we're angry about whatever it was? We allow our life to be. So hold that bigger picture for yourself. You deserve it. You are worth it. Every one of us is entitled to the infinite. Every one of us. So just picture that for yourself. Picture that for your family. Picture that for the world. Because we need it right now. We need to see that peace and hold that vision of peace. And then that's where we are. So let's see where the book takes us today. I'm on page 140 and 141. This chapter is called Opportunity. Opportunities in every moment. All right, so I'll start on page 140. His example have placed upon themselves no great burden, for they have comfort in his words. Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Thus, cooperation must be put into the pattern of our daily lives. Through simple thoughts and acts, we prepare for the greater opportunities that lie ahead of each soul. A knowledge of self helps us to recognize more opportunities. Spiritual forces have so long been considered as being in the misty realm of theory that we are, as children, just becoming aware that our soul faculties can be applied in everyday life, and that this awakening within makes us more useful in a material world. Therefore, being more conscious of our opportunities is a result of the awakening of our inner spiritual faculties, our entering into a new world, the world of spiritual youth. As we develop, there will come urges and aptitudes previously unknown. Calls to service will come. May we be ready and willing. Each trial met and overcome is a means towards development. We should realize that each experience is an opportunity to test, to train, and to strengthen us. It is only little by little that we are able to overcome all things. In seeking to know that opportunity that is given each in the present, it is one thing to live that there may be presented to another that which will open another's opportunity. And it is for self to recognize and use the opportunity in self's own development. And that was from an Edgar Cayce reading 262-50. Do ever in self that thou knowest to be right,
though it may make of self even an outcast to thine neighbor. That's from reading 373-2. If we do not watch ourselves and know that of ourselves we can do nothing, our life may become clogged with egotism, bitter resentment, petty jealousies, spite, and evil thinking. We may fall so low that we can scarcely see good in any condition, person or thing. We should know self well enough to realize that the fault is within us, and that we have within just what we see in others. Else, how could we recognize it? We must open the door to our inner selves and let the Christ light in. Let our wills be one with His. Listen to His voice. Heed His call. To know self is an opportunity. To know self, to be one with God, is the supreme opportunity of man. The higher the ideal, the greater are the opportunities. Each and every soul must come to the consciousness of being a service in the activities of that it, the soul, worships in the infinite sphere or spiritual force. That's from reading 262-50. Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the light, is the highest ideal. By holding to it any lesser ideal for thought and action, we build a fence around ourselves. We confine ourselves to conventionalities. We block the gate to service. We must be free to think our own thoughts, free to live our own lives, and this freedom must be born of an attunement with an unlimited idea. Know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. What is truth? Remember, if ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you. Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. Without me ye can do nothing. Without Christ we could not of ourselves even recognize our opportunities, so filled would we be with self and selfish interests. Let the meditations of the heart, let those activities of the body bespeak that thou wouldst offer in self as an opportunity or channel for another to seek to know thy God. That last one's from reading 262-50. Faith helps us grasp opportunity. An opportunity to demonstrate spiritual truth may come our way. Our so-called better judgment from the material standpoint may suggest that it is wiser to step aside and let it pass. For if there is to be a failure, it would be better for another to have the experience rather than have it ourselves. There is a lack of faith in such reasoning. Faith is the inner spiritual knowledge of the creative forces of the universe. It cannot be recognized by others who do not have the same inner guidance. They may call it poor judgment. Out of spite. With faith, we can move mountains of doubt, prove that thoughts are things and that words have power. Physical, mental, and spiritual demonstrations take place when no way seems open. Using what we have in hand, doing with all our might what our hands find to do, let us seize each opportunity. It is ours to act, to plan, to work. It is for Him, the author of faith, to give the increase. We may profess to have faith, but it is our actions that show how much we believe. As we study, as we meditate, as we seek to use each opportunity, our faith in Christ and the Father, in our neighbor, in ourselves will grow. He has promised that help, strength, and understanding sufficient for all our needs will be supplied. Help is always available. There will come tests in the physical, the mental, the spiritual life. At these times we should rely on His promise, I will never leave thee, nor forsake thee. Are we to be carried about in every wind of doctrine? Shall we fear as those who have no hope? In the trials and tests through which the world is passing, where are we found? Are we stepping out on faith, knowing that His presence is with us? Are we giving hope, faith, and comfort to those who have not had our opportunities? Do we not feel that we are called at this time to let our light shine in the dark places of doubt and fear? It is our faith that leads us. Is our faith firm in what has been promised? And are we passing it on to others? If not, we are weaklings who are drifting and falling short of the calling whereunto we have been called. Watch ye, stand fast in the faith. Quit you like men, be strong, for the day of the Lord is at hand. Opportunities found in fellowship. As we allow ourselves to be in this space, we must find the opportunities that are in front of us at all times and be grateful for them as they show up. Thank you, Search for God book 1 and 2, for highlighting the things that we've just been talking about, as they always do. Thank you for showing up here in this space. Thank you for being your best self every moment that you are able. And for finding grace in your own heart for yourself every moment that you feel that you are in the struggle, holding that suffering. Thank you for being. And may your spitefully grateful world be as only filled with gratitude as it is. Thank you.